Alright, Shalom Israel. Before I start off, I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Right, today we're going to go into a quick lesson on persecution and tribulation. Right, let's get right into it. Lord willing, you're edified through the power of Spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. Right, so let's get right into it. All right, for the hopeful elect, Shalom, and let's get to the lesson at hand. Slakia. So this video is about persecution and tribulation, right? Because in these latter days, right, as you see wickedness increase in the earth, right, you're gonna see those that are preaching the word and speaking the 100% truth, right? The most hated camp, right? The elders and apostles of Great Millstone, right? Which we learned from them, and we're continuing, right, in their entering into their labors, like Scripture say, right? And many devices are in the world in these latter days, right? So you got to understand, you know, the prophecies, right, that will come to pass, and the meaning, right, which is always gives you more insight when you go into these various words, whether it be the Hebrew or the Greek, right? So you understand, right, and know how to measure the times diligently, right? So let's go into, right, first word, which is persecution, right? Strong's G1377, which is dioko, right? Slack it. Because these are the times that we're in. We're in the times of persecution increasing, right? Like Elder Apostle Tahar said, right? The year of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the hopeful year of the prophecies being fulfilled, right? So the scriptures say what? That hold fast to that which is good, right? And seek the ancient paths, like it says in the book of Jeremiah. So we have Strong's G1377, dioko, which is says to pursue, by implication of persecute, and sue follow after, given to suffer persecution, press forward. Right, so these are the things that the prophets of old have gone through, as well as the faithful followers of, right, Yahushua Hamashiach, right, just like in the former days, right. Scriptures say what once was will be done. There's nothing new under the sun, right? So it says to make, to run or flee, to put to flight, to drive away, to run swiftly in order to catch a person or thing, to run after, to press on, figuratively of one who is in a race, run swiftly to reach the goal, to pursue, in any way whatever, to harass, trouble, molest one, to be mistreated, suffer persecution on account of something, right? So while you have, right, these other camps, right, they're not teaching the mark of the beast, they're calling on sweet Jesus, right? Still having endless contentions on things concerning the law, right? When the law was never the end all be all, right? So these are the things that the Lord had commanded unto us to speak on, the things that are important, right? Like the charagma, right? Speaking the word without guile, right? Going out on the highways and byways, right? Giving insight, right? Feeding the lambs, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? So it says, right? So you're going to suffer mistreatment, right? Hostility, right? You may be followed after, right? You may be seeked eagerly, right? Like the scriptures say, you're going to be hated by all nations for my name's sake, right? So these things are being made manifest in these latter days, and our job is to hold fast, right, and cleave unto the Lord, right? Let's get some precepts. So radab is the equivalent of this word, which radab means to chase, to pursue, right? And you also have shatam, meaning to stalk, right? So it says to make, to run, to flee, to put to flight, to drive away, to run swiftly in order to catch some person, thing to run after, to harass, to trouble, right? Let's get the precepts. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Right? So you should, right, be steadfast, right? When like it says in the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, right? To endure, right? To be patient in tribulation, right? Matthew chapter 5 and verse 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Right? Matthew 5 and 12. Rejoice, be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Right? So you're going to have, right, those that follow, right, the truth, right, that follow the word, right, that believe in the things written, right. You might be in these various camps, right, like the elders and apostles recently say, and I brought up in other camps as well, right, that Esau is watching, right. He has his, right, his lists, right, whether it be on the ADL, right, whether it be on some type of right, government list, right. These things are hastening, right, day by day, right. So our job, right, is to be in samples into the flock, right. So let's get another precept. Matthew 5 and 44. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. Right? So that is, right, the word dioko, right? Salakia. Right, to follow, right, to chase after, right? This is Strong's G1377. Actually, did I already click on that? Strong's G1375. Diogamos. Salakia. Which is persecution, right? persecution, okay, so that's a similar to what is it? Dayoko. Let's get some precepts off of that, right? Just gonna make it. It's gonna be a fairly short video, right? So this is what's going on in Israel, right? You have the other camps, right? Just going on and right, blaspheming and reproaching the dead, right? When you should be right bringing the important issues to the forefront, right? Which are the prophecies, right? That are coming to pass in these latter days. Matthew 13:21. Yet hath he not ruled in himself, but endureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. Right? So you're going to be sought after, right? You're going to be afflicted, right? Actually, let's see what this word for affliction is. Salakia. I may have to change the name of the lesson as persecution, tribulation, and affliction, right? But first, let's get the third Greek entry, which is Strong's G2347. Okay, that's actually what I just clicked on. Thalipsis, which says pressure, literally or figuratively, affliction, anguish, burden, persecution, tribulation, trouble. Right? So what do the scriptures say? Those that are troubled rest with us till Yahweh Shem Yahushua be revealed, right, in the heavens, right, in the time, right, of the Lord, of the day of the Lord, right, which is the great day, right, and in the meantime, our job is to watch diligently, right, and measure the time within itself, right. So it says a pressing together, pressure, oppression, affliction, tribulation, distress, straits. The Hebrew equivalent is lachatazah, which is literally oppression. Tazar, which is straits, or tazarah, which is trouble. Right? Salakia, I mean to click on that. Hebrews 10:33, the afflictions which Christ had to undergo, and which therefore his followers must not shrink from. Right? Anxiety, burden of heart. Right? To increase the misery of my imprisonment by causing me anxiety. Right? So these are the things you're going to have to go through. Right? Troubles, distress, anxiety. Right? Thalipsis, Matthew 13:21, yet hath he not ruled in himself, but endureth for a while, for when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. Right? So like Hamashiach said, blessed are those that blessed is he who is not offended in me, right? So our job is to be strengthened by the word, right? And right, stay in the Lord's grace, right? Keep the commandments to the best of our ability, right? But you have these other camps that they what? They 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 relish on the outward man, right? That their outward appearance is and the law, right? Um, they believe that is what is going to justify them, right? Now they don't literally say that, but you have these other camps, right? There's certain things that these other camps don't talk about, which is grace, right? The charagma, Jacob's trouble, right? Which is coming, right? Matthew 24:9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated for all nations for my name's sake. This is a precept that I was going to touch on next. Matthew 24:29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Right? What is the sun and the moon being darkened? Right? Wisdom and understanding. Right? I believe that's in Second Edges as well. Right? Uh, um, I may be wrong, but I'll have to look into that. Right? But that's talking about, right, wickedness increasing. Right? Let's see if I can get that real quick. Slovakia. Second address. Second Ezra chapter 5 and verse 1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the weight of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. Second Ezra chapter 5 and verse 9. And salt water shall be found in thee sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber. It shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and inconsistency be multiplied upon the earth. One land also shall ask another, and say, Is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee? And it shall say, No. So the understanding, right, is fading away for 2/3 of your so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. Right, our job is to meditate on the Word, right, watch and pray that we live to see the coming of the Son of Man, Hamashiach Yahushai. All right, so let's look at Matthew 24 and 29, because it says immediately after, right? But that word for after is metos, which is what a lot of these so-called Christians, right? They say after, right? they say, okay, this has to happen, and then after, right? Like it says, Salakia. Let's get that again real quick. After the tribulation, right? But that word metos means in the midst, in between, right? The sun be darkened, the moon shall not give her light, right? The stars shall fall from the heaven. That's talking about, right, the ICBM missiles, right, coming to America, Babylon the Great, right? The fire being often sent out, right? Great confusion, right? The powers of heaven being shaken, right? Let's get that word after. Salakia, which is meta, amid, afterward, against, amongst, together, with, after, behind. The Hebrew equivalent is atha, with, achar, after, I'm, meaning among, right? So that is why we're out here, right, warning 2/3 of our people, right, before the famine of the word, right, before things get worse, right, and they are getting worse, right? That's the whole point, is that we're blowing the trumpet, and right, we're letting our people know that that the inconsistencies, right, trials, your faith, right, all these things, right, will be increased, and your faith will be tested, right? So let's see if we can get one more precept. Right, so it's not after that tribulation, right? It's all gonna be a short work that the Lord is gonna make in the earth. John 16:33, these things have I spoken unto you, that in me you might have peace. In the world you should have tribulation, but be of good cheer, I have overcome the world. Right? So with that, right, Lord willing, you were edified, right? It's Brother Yatazadak Hero Israel, and I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Makakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, Kwame Yasha Allah, Abado Ball, and Shalom.